seen an ad for a judge before,
Nobody
like
really
to vote
pays it.
for a judge. This is all foreign to me.
Nobody really ever pays attention to them. Like, at
Oh,
least for
okay.
me, we just kind of, well, this was before I started streaming trials, but my eyes always just glossed over all the judges, and I usually just was like, whatever, keep them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Like, because this is so weird to
Yeah.
have people actually. No,
Running for judge.
okay, but no. I mean it though. Like, it's really weird to me to see any kind of advertisement for someone in the field of
Yeah.
law advertising themselves to be voted for. So she's actually talking about, if you don't like my decision, then you would go to the Supreme Court and appeal.
Yeah.
Right. So she's already talking about, if you
Being
don't like what
appealed.
I say, being appealed in an ad.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what that. Yeah, that's weird because, like,
Weird. Hey, Jenny, how are you?
because if she legislates from the bench, then that would be appealed as well.
Uh,
So, yeah, okay.
but it's not really
Once
a
again,
selling
who
point,
is Mary Perry? I am, and I am your best choice for Family Court Department P. I appreciate you giving me this time to introduce myself to you, and remember, P is for Perry.
Oh,
Thank you.
Jenny, you know who this is. Jenny, you know who this is. You knew her line before she even said it. P is for Perry. Well, you know what? P is for Psycho. Because
not her.
Because that is now her catchphrase. See, up there. See, are you a psycho?
Hey, Melissa.
Hey, Melissa, how are you? Yeah, that's actually been brought out in her censure document, and it's all over the headlines now. Wow.
So let's see this judicial temperament in action.
Let's, shall we?
Let's come back. I want you to do the drug test. Let's come back and do we have anything in 6 weeks?
Your Honor, this has been a year and 2-3 months now that I haven't seen my son. Overnight, period.
Mr. Stroh.
You yourself said that she's following the order that we're going to take some things and make sure they're done. You're not living up to what you're saying. I haven't done anything. I'm being treated like a criminal here.
Mr. Stroh, listen, please. I'm not the one who did something to yours. Mr. Stroh, hush up.
I pay taxes, Your Honor, and I'm a citizen of the United States here. I have a right to speak my mind. And you're not following up to the law at all.
Mr. Stroh, I am not going to put your son in harm's way. If this is the attitude that you're exhibiting to your son, then I can understand. Don't back talk me while I'm talking. Okay, Mr. Miley, I'm going to have Miss Backus prepare the order. We're done today. We'll come back in 6 weeks. What's the date?
Good for you.
What's the date?
Good for you. You have no backbone. You don't do anything that you ever say you're going to do, Your Honor.
Silence him.
Live up to the law.
Mr. Miley, you need to speak to your client.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
August 26th at 9.
The soonest we can come back is August 26th at 9. Do we have anything where we can put him in and somewhere in 6 weeks? I mean, that's way out, even if I'm overbooking me.
Hey, Queen Olive.
Because I want to monitor this a little bit more closely.
Hey, Bill Blazy. I love when they just cut to the empty room.
Yeah.
It's like crickets. And hey, Benjamin, I only vote for a judge when I have a choice. In my area, you generally have one choice. Well, what's the point in vote? Why? Why do they make you vote then? Well, I suppose they don't make you vote, do they?
No, and they're up for re-election, so you can always write in a judge, I guess.
Okay, but sorry, I come from a land of compulsory voting. So if no one votes for the judge, do they still get the job?
Probably not, but they're going to at least have one vote.
So, okay, so someone's going to vote for him, i.e. them. So if they
Most
get like,
likely.
say if they get like 10 votes as in their family, do
Yeah.
they get in?
Yeah.
Is that it? Right. Wow.
I guess so, yeah.
What's the point? I don't understand. Makes no sense. If no one opposes them.
I mean, unless there's like more writing.
Okay, we need as many P's as we can, guys.
Yes.
Let's go. All right, keep going. Is that it?
Oh, that's the end of it, yeah.
Okay, right. So now something happened, everybody.
Hard to imagine.
Let's see. Court TV just the other day.
Yeah.
Actually, do you want to rewind to the beginning? Because I want to show you what I saw when this came up on Court TV. Guys, you guys have all been watching the ballerina trial, right? And so this really caught me by surprise because I was like, hey, what's Judge White done wrong? This was very strange because I was like, the name of the video was Judge Faces Discipline for Cursing Angry Behavior in Family Court. And there was a picture of Judge White from the ballerina trial. And I was like, hang on, A, that's not family court.
Yeah.
And B, what's Judge White done from the ballerina trial? That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Now, that's a bit of clickbait for you. So, actually, Dahlia, would you mind playing it from the beginning?
I do.
Sweet, thank you.
I also would imagine that I'm not the first judge that has made rulings that you disagree with. I would imagine I'm not the first judge that you have looked at up here and said, where in the world did he or she get that from?
That was Judge Matt White in the Benefield trial that we are covering here on Court TV. And he's been getting high praise for his actions in court, the way that he's very measured in handing down his rulings, a lot that have been negative to the defense. But trending in true crime this morning, a Las Vegas judge is caught behaving badly, and now she's facing a public censure for her actions. Scripps Las Vegas reporter Darcy Spears has the story.
Newly published records, Judge Perry.
Okay, Court TV has just hit a new low. Like, they knew that people weren't going to watch this unless it had something to do with the trial that's trending right now, which is the ballerina trial, Ashley Benefield. So they had to show a visual from the Ashley Benefield trial. What were they going to show? The judge. And they go and put a title that has no reference to Mary Perry, just judge is censured for outbursts in court, and a picture of Judge White. That's quite defamatory. I would think that he would have some sort of recourse to well, I mean, it is defamatory, isn't it?
It is, yeah, a little bit. I don't think legally would rise to that officially, but yeah, it is kind of sus.
It's very sus. It's very sus. And it worked. I clicked on it.
That's fair.
Anyway, keep going.
Wait, that picture makes her look like Mrs. Doubtfire.
People have said that in the comments.
Really?
That she looks like Mrs. Doubtfire. Yes. You're not the first person to say that. Oh, it's funny you bring that up. I forgot about that.
I thought I was being clever.
Multiple violations of the state code of judicial conduct, undermining public confidence that she can be fair, impartial, and properly rule on cases. The commission found that in a divorce and child custody case where the parties are not named, Judge Perry was disrespectful, using profanity and demeaning and insulting both parents. She set aside a divorce decree that had already been approved by a senior judge and refused to hear arguments about it. Recordings from the case reviewed by the commission showed Judge Perry yelling and cursing at the father. She asked one of the parents, "Are you a psycho?" That's a yes or no. Anne said, "Your children deserve a lot better than both of you. I'm going to take her home with me and neither one of you will see her." Regarding the son, she said, "I'm surprised he's spending any time with either one of you because neither one of you are worth it at this point."
It don't work. He does not want to be in the room with her. He does not want to look at her, and I'm not going to force him to. What part of that is not understood?
In another divorce case, the commission found Perry was hostile to one of the parties, appeared visibly agitated and angry, and refused requests to allow testimony or argument. In that case, after the divorce was settled, Judge Perry put on the record whose side she would have ruled on, saying she was doing so to prevent possible future bankruptcy fraud involving property. But the commission said she had no legal basis to do that. Statements should have remained confidential. Although Perry admitted to improper and unprofessional conduct, she told the commission her behavior could have partly been the result of taking certain medications for health conditions that she is facing. Statement 13 investigates. Perry wrote, "I have gained new insight from my experience with the commission. I intend to use this experience to enhance my skills to preside over challenging cases and better serve families in our community."
The judge is behaving badly. We are asking the questions. Are you buying the excuses that this judge gave in this case? Let's bring in our power panel to discuss this. Still with us.
Okay. So she apparently is on some medication. I've also heard, and I don't know whether it's in this document, because we have the document, guys. We have the document.
Yes.
I heard from our friend KLF, who I was just chatting to over in Sean's chat about an hour and a half ago. KLF said that she goes to me, oh, I assume KLF's a female. Sorry if I've misgendered you, KLF. KLF said to me, oh, I saw that you were doing something on Mary Perry. She has been known to stalk people. Well, not stalk people, but look up people on Facebook with her clerk and use their statements that they have said on Facebook against them in court. And that has been brought up also at appeal. So there you go. Apparently KLF did a stream on that a year or so ago. I know a lot of things were brought up approximately a year ago, 2023, in some appeals, and that may come up now. Let's go. Let's see. We have the document, people, and there are lots of words from Miss Perry in this document, so we might have a bit of fun, shall we? Certified copy of stipulation and order of consent to public censure. Pursuant to Commission Procedural Rule 29, I hereby certify that the document attached hereto is a true and correct copy of the stipulation and order of consent to public censure, filed with Nevada Commission on Judicial Discipline, July 18, 2024. By the way, the censure is 30 days, basically suspension from work, unpaid.
Oh.
And when it's public, so we all know about it. All right, so everybody's aware that this has had to happen. Now, before the Nevada Commission on Judicial Discipline in the matter of the Honorable Mary Perry, in order to resolve the above referenced judicial conduct complaints pending before Nevada Commission, let's just get to the good bit. Do you want to read number one? My good friend?
Respondent and the commission agree that commission case number 2022-062P and 2023-039P shall be consolidated for purposes of resolution through the stipulation and order of consent to public censure. 2. Respondent admits that she violated Canon 1 of the revised Nevada Code of Judicial Conduct Code. Rule 1.1 requiring the respondent to comply with the law, including the code. And Rule 1.2 requiring the respondent to act at all times in a manner that promotes public confidence in the independence, integrity, and impartiality of the judiciary, and avoiding impropriety and the appearance of impropriety, so on and so forth.
Blah, 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 blah. Okay, this is boring. Let's keep going. Let's get to the bit where...
Case number.
Ooh, hang on. Yeah, the case number. Let's go to the case.
In this matter, The respondent presided over a divorce proceeding in family court during an order to show cause hearing on December 22, 2021, after the parties settled the matter.
Oops.
The respondent
on.
placed on the
Let me
record
move
how
this.
she would have ruled against the complainant in this matter, i.e., one of the litigants. Litigant one had the matter proceeded to trial. Dun, dun, dun. B is for boy. Respondent made these statements to ensure that when the bankruptcy court subsequently examined the property-related issues in litigant's one's divorce, the court would have an appropriate factual record before it in case there is a question regarding the property. Respondent felt compelled to state her opinions out of concern that litigant one might attempt to perpetrate a fraud on a subsequent bankruptcy court as to property related.
Hang on. I'm confused. Is she the respondent?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a little confused at that too. I'd have
Yeah.
to double check when I was
I'm like,
reading.
who's the respondent? Yeah, radio. Cool. Let's keep going.
Keep going
Oops.
now. Yeah.
Okay. Despite respondent's strong conviction on the issue, right?
Respondent did not, and in subsequent discussion, could not articulate any legal basis for taking the action she did. C is for coyote. Respondent's statements placed on the record during that hearing were, in fact, confidential as they were made as to litigant one, arising from a prior divorce proceeding which had already settled and concluded. Respondent's actions led litigant one to believe that they were the result of a bias by a respondent against him. D.
Okay. During a
for
month
during.
30-20 during. Hey, that worked out well.
I know. Hearing in the same matter, the respondent spoke in a hostile tone toward litigant one. A review of the audio-visual recordings of these events, Jav's recording, reflects that the respondent appeared visibly agitated and angry at litigant one during that proceeding. Respondent conceded that she probably was not necessarily courteous to litigant one. Mm-hmm. During
Not
this same
necessarily
hearing.
Courteous. What she okay, so she agrees that she probably wasn't necessarily
Basically, they're showing her
courteous.
all these clips of her spurging out and asking her,
Right.
is this proper judicial conduct?
Yeah.
Do you think
And
you
she's
were
gone,
respectful here? And she's like, no.
probably not. I suppose not. Okay.
Well, now that you're asking, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess not. Okay.
During this same hearing, the respondent deprived litigant one of her right to be heard during that hearing, refused requests to allow testimony or argument on her motion, and awarded attorney fees against litigant one.
She refused requests to allow testimony or argument on her motion and awarded attorney fees against litigant one. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So she didn't let her argue. So basically just muted her.
I mean, you have to at least let them make a record for an appeal court.
Well, I was watching one of her doing a divorce case yesterday, and I don't know if it's the same one, but she said to, like, because there was the wife in the instance, she kept like putting her hand up, and she goes, that's a really good way to annoy me, keeping putting your hand up there, Mum, like that. And
was
then she said,
trying to like ask for permission to talk?
Yeah, she was like, she wanted to talk. She's like, please, like, want to talk?
So she's being respectful and just being court.
Well, she couldn't talk because she was muted. Right. So she was asking judge to please let her be unmuted.
So she was muted by the court because she was interrupting. But she's
I think judge could allow people to
the
talk.
judge can. Yeah.
Yeah. And she was like trying to talk, and she goes, "That's a really good way to annoy me by keeping doing that, Mum," like that, because she called her mum. I don't know why she called her mum, because she's the mum of the kids, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's a little bit disrespectful in itself. And then then she said, "I'm going to say to your counsel to please warn you before you start talking on the record, because there are dangers in talking on the record," like that. And so then
that's fair.
And that's fair, right?
Yeah.
And
I guess her lawyer should be the one talking, but
her lawyer should. And then she eventually, like, she let her talk eventually, but there was a lot of time that this lady was really wanting to talk, and she was just like ignoring her. Ignoring. So,
what do you think, chat? Is this good judicial temperament? Let us know in the chat.
Her testosterone therapy is off a bit. Okay. All right. Let's go to a different case.
In the E is for echo. In this matter, the respondent presided over a divorce and child custody proceeding during which two pertinent hearings were held on February 9th, 2022 and August 11th, 2022, respectively. What both of these hearings have in common is the respondent's needlessly disrespectful tone of voice, obvious changes in her mood. Well, don't say she was on her period. Jeez. The use of profanity, personally demeaning comments about the litigants, and generally her overall demeanor and lack of professional decorum towards all litigants appearing at those hearings. Was this the Young Thug trial? I'm confused. In the F is for in this matter, the complainant litigant 2 also alleged that the respondent deprived him and his counsel of the right to be heard by not permitting oral argument as to the respondent's decision to set aside litigant 2's decree of divorce, which was granted by the senior judge that handled the trial of the action. Wait, does that give like changes too? Emotional changes?
You didn't know that?
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you ever get married and you end up, if you ever get married and you continue to be married till that lady gets to a certain time in life, you'll find out.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Well, then that could explain it.
Explain what? Oh,
her
this.
Her temperament.
Oh, right. I thought you were talking about somebody else. Okay.
No. It's just one theory. I mean, maybe she's just.
I think she's well and truly past menopause. This woman is for sure like 65 at least. Okay. Look at her. Like, and I don't mean in that photo, like on her campaign poster. Like, that's way earlier.
True.
So she definitely looks 65, and menopause happens around 50 to 55. So, okay, Dali out. He's like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. He's like,
What? No, Junior.
I was like,
oh, no, Junior.
Dali's like, left the building. I don't want to talk about lady things anymore. How do we get onto this topic? Bye. Postmenopause. Yeah, postmenopause, I believe there's also like hormonal things that happen. Us females have all sorts of things to look forward to. Lucky us.
Yes.
Lucky us and those who live with us. Yeah. God, what a good time to catch up with Dali saying oral and having it slow down and repeat. Yeah, you love it, Benjamin. You love it. That's why you tune in for moments like that. Anyway, where were we up to? Oh, G. G is for G-spot.
Goat.
Oh, goat. Okay.
Or grandma.
Oh, grandma. Crazy grandma. I'm scared of grandmas, right?
Oh, yeah. I know. Yeah, I remember.
Remember
They always
that? That was
snitched on you.
I haven't talked about that for a long
No,
time.
that was like right when we first started streaming.
Yeah, the
And you're
grandma
like
network.
spurging out about grandmas.
Granny network.
Yeah.
Gotta watch out for them.
Freaking Australia.
No, they're everywhere. Granny networks are everywhere. They'll follow
Okay.
you.
Okay.
They talk. Anyway.
The February 9th, 2022 hearing was held via the Blue Jeans video conferencing service.
Blue Jeans.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, she's always asking, like, okay, are you in blue jeans? Or the person's like, yeah, my client's here in blue jeans. Apparently, it's their video conferencing service.
A bit personal.
I know.
Like, what are you wearing? Blue jeans.
Ooh, can you take them off? Litigant 2 and his counsel were both present via the Blue Jeans system. H is for Hawk Tui. A complete review.
No one wants to imagine this woman doing that. No one. Okay? Oh. God. She'd do it in an angry way, too.
Oh, yeah, it'd be angry. She'd have to do it a few times because she's got really bad dry mouth.
Yeah, there'd be a shit ton of spit, too.
A shit ton of phlegm.
Phlegm, boogers, everything.
Ugh.
Old lady spit. She's spit on that thing.
She's got that old person food schmucks at the corner of her mouth.
It's a little bit. She needs to pull out the dentures. Oh, you'd hope. Oh, you would hope. Oh, this is just getting stupid.
Really?
All right, so we have to keep going.
A complete review of the JAVS. Good kerning you got there. Recording of the respondent's February 9th, 2022 calendar. Litigant 2 reflects that the following statements from respondent. Hey!
To litigant 2 are present. I'll just keep going. Oh, here we go.
56.
Do I get to be her or do you want to be her?
Let me try. Sir, don't argue with me. I don't know what it is. Do we have a full moon? Because I can't seem to get people to stop arguing with me today. When during the commission's subsequent investigation, the respondent was asked if she would describe her demeanor as depicted in the clip as being patient, dignified, and courteous. The respondent admitted that her conduct was improper and answered, no.
That's not improper.
No! He doesn't get to pick and choose. We're going to set aside the decree of divorce. We're going to redo this evidentiary hearing. I'm sorry, Junior. It's okay. I love you, boo-boo.
Sorry, Junior.
What is up with these people? Sir, you haven't respected this court for a year. So I don't want to hear you talking about disrespect. Good Lord. She really cares about respect.
Lordy.
Is she a black woman?
I don't want to hear you talking about disrespect.
When, during the commission's subsequent investigation, the respondent was asked if she'd lost her patience during that interaction, the respondent admitted that her conduct was improper and stated that is possible. That is... Oh,
do it in Becky Hill voice. Becky Hill voice.
That is possible, yes. But would you like some sweet sugar tea, hon?
You never
I just got a little hot under the collar. My book sales were declining for some reason.
I didn't plagiarize nothing.
No.
No.
That evil man has an appeal hearing coming, and I am steamed, child.
Child.
When okay, so yeah. Respondent also admitted to raising her voice, though she added, but not significantly.
Oops, sorry. Hang on.
Go up.
But not significantly. Yeah.
The August 11th hearing was also held via the Blue Jeans video conferencing system. Litigant 2 and his counsel were both present via the Blue Jeans system. A complete review of the J.A. Kern V.S. recording of the respondent's August 11th, 2022 calendar reflects that the following statements from respondent to litigant 2 are present. In this video clip, litigant 2 made a comment about not seeing an order related to paying the mortgage. Respondent then shouted, BS, BS, child, you are not getting any of my summer tea because I've got the order right here in this computer.
Okay, I preferred angry her.
Angry granny? Okay.
Yeah.
Respondent also slammed her hands on the bench and yelled, we're not here to argue. Respondent continued shouting, stop it!
Stop it!
Respondent also made a comment, this is not your home, this is my home. You will respect what I am saying. Respect my authority. You are not the boss here.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
And do Carmen. Respect my authority. Authority.
When during the commission's subsequent investigation, the respondent was asked if she was in control of her temper and emotion, the respondent admitted that her conduct was improper. And
Sean didn't mean to, okay? We're all going to sweep for Sean now.
Yes.
Poor Sean. He
stressed out.
didn't know what was wrong with the audio.
Yes. Well, I was telling him in chat. I even super chatted him.
But that's the problem. Everyone was trying to tell him.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was trying to
And there were 300 people trying to
know.
tell him, and he's like reading it. It's like, oh, and then half of the people were fucking around with him, and he's used to everyone fucking around with him. Oh dear. Poor Sean. Okay, sweep. That's enough. Let's keep going.
Keep going.
Where are we up to?
Next page.
This is not your home? Are we done? All right.
No, we're done. Probably not. And she responded, probably not as well as I could have been. During a back and forth conversation concerning litigant 2's son, the respondent stated, you don't deserve to have primary. Don't lie to me. Bzz, bzz.
She said BS. Stop.
Yeah.
She's not saying bzz. She's saying BS.
Okay.
Why you're sleeping for her now?
No. I mean, she's a cute lady.
Oh, fuck off.
During continued discussion about the children, the respondent stated, this is high conflict. Your children deserve a hell of a lot better than both of you. I'm going to take her home with me, and neither one of you will see her. She deserves better than what she's getting.
Okay. I feel like that statement there, I'm going to take her home with me, that's just going a little bit far, right? Like, clearly she's not actually serious about taking the child home with her. No. But she's on the record in court.
Yeah, it's not
right. You can't joke around about stealing someone's child. You can't.
Yeah.
She's the judge.
Yeah.
Like, she should know better than saying something like, I'm taking your child home with me.
Yeah.
Really? How can she not think that that's going to end up in a complaint?
Yeah.
That's shocking to say that your children deserve a hell of a lot better than you. I'm going to take her home with me and neither one of you will see her.
Yeah.
Hey, Badger Witness. Yeah, that's really bad. That was
Yeah.
really bad. And hey, Mimsy, how are you?
Yeah.
Good to see you too. Of all the things she said, I reckon that's pretty much like a lot of the things are more entertaining that she
Yeah.
said, but that one there
That's
is
probably one of the worst.
up there. That's bad. Yo. Welcome to Scary Judge time. Yo. All right, keep going.
During a conversation about the mental and physical health of the litigant, respondent asked the complainant, "Are you psycho? That's a yes or no."
There it is. Are you a psycho?
P is
Are
for
you a
psycho.
psycho? That's a yes or no, by the way.
Yes.
It's not a maybe.
Ah, you got me there.
Sally, are you a psycho?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Really?
A little bit.
We can't be friends anymore. It's all right. I already knew.
During a discussion concerning the son of litigant 2 and the other litigants in this matter, the respondent stated, "I'm surprised he's spending any time with either one of you because neither one of you are worth it at this point."
What? Jesus Christ. She was having a bad day.
I wonder if she has very early stage dementia.
Maybe. Or a brain tumor. It's not a tumor.
I mean, that's an interesting theory. And yeah, it's valid. Or an UTI, no, John. Well, she's always, from all the videos I've seen up to, like, she came in around 2000, I believe. She's always been very loud and very controlling of her courtroom. But none of the videos I saw were over the top like this. This seems to have been in the last year or so.
Yeah, look, she's almost likable in a way. Like sometimes it's like, cool, a judge who gets things done.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't take any shit. In a way, she's kind of base, right? Like these comments, they're actually a little bit out of character in that she's just being full on mean, right?
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the time, she just says the kind of things that you wish a judge would say.
And like somebody,
because
like
people
I
are being
saw,
stupid.
yeah, I saw a video of somebody who completed their drug program, and she's like, "Oh, good for you," and claps for him. And she's like really supportive. And when people do the right thing, it seems like, I mean, from what I know, my opinion can change because we're still learning a lot about her.
Yeah.
It seems like she's trying to do the right thing and make people be accountable for their actions and improve themselves for their kids.
Yeah.
We'll
show you a little bit more after this, but let's just look at the arguments first. But if you're interested, guys, and tell us, like we have a few of her hearings. They go for sort of 30-40 minutes. We can watch a couple in the next week or so. And like they're family court, so just be ready. Like we're talking divorces and child custody. It's a bit messy. But she's pretty full on. Like she's interesting. I'll tell you that. It's not boring.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going.
Respondent commented, my computer, oh heavens to Betsy, my computer is slow right now. I need some sugar tea. It's mad at me. It doesn't like my fingers. Like that Alec Murdoch. I think it wants a man's finger. This must be a female or something because
it such a weird thing to say.
Constantly.
It needs a man's finger. Is she sexist against her fingers?
It's constantly fighting me.
It wants a man's finger. It must be a female or something because it fights me constantly. Okay, she
My-
hates females.
My computer is slow right now. It's mad at me. It sure doesn't like my fingers. I think it wants a man's fingers. This must be a female or something because it fights me constantly.
It wants a man's finger.
Rawr.
Rawr. That is the weirdest goddamn thing to say.
It's hilarious, but like,
It's
what the
fucking
hell?
hilarious. I don't know if it's worth like being in the complaint. Like, why is that being mentioned in the complaint? It's just weird.
It's weird,
not
and she's
really.
making a joke. Like, she's
It's-
making a joke at her computer.
It's not offensive, I don't think, is it?
I mean,
suppose
she's
to li-
it's offensive maybe to the stereotype females try to fight other females.
maybe, I suppose.
It's weird, but it's
It's a
funny.
bit I suppose it's unprofessional.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. It's unbecoming of a judge.
Sure.
It's just really strange.
Very funny.
Thank you for the super chat, John. Your Honor, never go full Judge Judy.
Oh God.
Well, yeah, Judge Judy's being paid to be a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Judge Judy once bent over on TV and really showed her cleavage.
Did she?
Yeah.
Ew.
I took a picture.
Yeah. Did you? Are you keeping that on your wall?
No, not on my wall, just because it was really funny.
Next to your Nancy Pelosi cleavage.
A boo pic.
Yeah. It's offensive to small fingers. Look, I have small fingers and they're female and I'm offended. Right? I'm putting in a complaint to the Supreme Court about that. Dear me. All right, let's keep going.
Okay.
Oh, seriously, that is the funniest thing in the whole document.
While discussing custody of litigant 2's daughter, respondent stated, "I'm not giving you custody. No! Your ass needs to be out there working too." When during the commission's subsequent investigation, the respondent was asked if this comment was dignified. The respondent admitted that her conduct was improper and responded, "No."
No. Fair enough, lady. Fair enough.
Respondent admits to all the allegations brought against her in paragraphs 2A through J for Jesus juice, as set forth above, and agrees the evidence available to the commission would establish by clear and convincing proof that she violated, including Canon 1 Rules 1.1 and 1.2, Canon 2 Rules 2.2, blah, 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 blah. Respondent agrees to waive her right to present her case and contest the allegations, blah, blah, blah. Stipulates to respondent's consent. Respondent shall receive a 30-day suspension from office without pay. Imposition of said discipline is suspended for a period of 1 year commencing with the filing of the stipulation and order.
Hang on a minute.
Oh, so it's suspended assuming she completes all the other stuff.
Wait a minute. So she's not even suspended now.
Well, it's like a probation thing or a parole thing where if you violate it, you then face the full time.
So she's back on the bench right now.
I believe so. Sounds like it.
What?
Yeah.
Respondent shall receive a 30-day suspension from office without pay. Imposition of said discipline is suspended for a period of 1 year, commencing with the filing of the stipulation order while respondent is placed on probation under the following terms and conditions. Okay, what are these conditions? Righto.
The typical ones.
No, they're here.
Well, yeah, I'll read them.
Yeah.
Respondent shall have no further violation of the revised Nevada Code of Judicial Conduct while on probation. Violation shall be determined by a finding of the commission following an evidentiary hearing or stipulation thereto. And respondent shall comply with all the terms and conditions of this stipulation and order. B is for bat. Respondent agrees to complete at respondent's own expense a personalized judicial trip, education course / remedial training
to Hawaii.
with the national. You've won a personalized judicial education course / remedial training with the National Judicial College on the topic of judicial ethics and judging within 6 months of the filing date of this stipulation and order. This course / remedial training will be provided by the National Judicial College and specifically customized and tailored to respondents' misconduct, focusing primarily on 1, identifying and distinguishing between proper and improper court-related demeanor and behavior. Don't talk about fingering your computer, ma'am. 2,
only a man can finger her computer.
Yes.
She needs a man's finger.
Identifying
Sorry.
and rectifying areas of bias and prejudice in the courtroom in order to maintain the integrity of the court for all participants. Give me a semicolon. 3, performing judicial duties fairly and impartially. 4, according to every person who has a legal interest in a proceeding or that person's lawyer, the right to be heard. Competence and preparedness in the performance of judicial duties. And 6, my favorite, the importance of upholding and complying with the law and the code. Respondent further agrees that the instructional topics and course delivery format, in person and online, shall be approved in advance by the commission's executive director. 1 sec.
Okay, respondent commission. He works with those. Oh, this thing about the medications.
Let's see. Respondent and the commission hereby further stipulates that through its investigation of the allegations raised. 1 sec. Excuse me.
Yep, you're right.
I'm sorry, sneeze. The respondent presented evidence to indicate that her impatience and or disrespectful statements toward the litigants before her could have been in part the result of or influenced by her ingestion of certain medications for health conditions she is facing at the present time. It is agreed that this evidence shall constitute a mitigating factor for purposes of imposition of discipline in this matter, and along with respondents' actions described above, merit the discipline stipulated to herein. Rawr.
Okay, so hang on a minute. Respondent presented evidence to indicate that her impatience and disrespectful statements towards the litigants before her could have been in part the result of or influenced by her ingestion of certain medications for health conditions she's facing. All right, so I've heard this, that she hasn't actually stated what the medications are or what they're for.
Yeah.
So we don't know.
Yeah.
There's nothing in any official documents. There's been no official statement. It could be anything. I assume that it must be like a medication from a doctor, not like crack cocaine.
Yeah.
Because otherwise that would be a bigger deal.
Sure.
But
I don't even know
um,
if she was required to necessarily tell them.
maybe she's not, as long as it's like
It's
a
better.
doctor-patient privilege
Yeah,
thing. So,
it's kind of tricky.
yeah, and therefore it wouldn't need to be in the court records.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, I've
Oh, that could be.
been
Maybe she
on
disclosed them privately in the hearing.
privately in the hearing. Yeah, that makes sense, Badger Witness. And also, Badger Witness, I didn't know that you were in Las Vegas. Did you say you're Las Vegas or just in Nevada? It's interesting. So, have you heard of this lady before? And what was the other thing you said? It's really rare to see judges disciplined, though I'm in Vegas. I'm happy to see that apparently we do that here. Yeah, I've heard of several corrupt judges in Las Vegas, and I don't know why it's in Las Vegas. I'm sure there's corrupt judges everywhere, but I've
Yeah.
heard of them, and rarely do you hear of any of them get like a public censure like this. So, yeah, I'm just wondering whether or not you've heard about this one. And when we heard about this one, Dali and I went and looked and saw that there have been sort of a public outcry
Yeah.
on some Facebook groups and things like that from litigants who had been in her family court and had been yelled at and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Obviously,
People are
if someone
pleased with it.
is going to have outbursts like this at you, you're going to walk away being pretty mad.
Yeah.
And so there are people who have taken to social media and gone, this lady is corrupt.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with her. A judicial official shouldn't act this way. And so
Unfortunately,
this is going back to 2022, 2021, and nothing really happened. Then just recently, I saw some posts from a couple of people who said, we fought back and we won. Because all those things sort of died down. People sort of give up. They post and they say, oh, this person is corrupt. And then like, oh, I haven't seen my kids in all this time, and it's because of this judge. And then they give up because what are they going to do? But yeah, now things are starting to change just with her anyway. I saw the local news reports, but they stream almost everything on out of budget judges, on YouTube. I don't usually watch the family court ones, but we have pretty good transparency. Yeah, and so I looked on, we both did, Dali and I both looked on our Nevada judges. And I mean, obviously,
a handful there.
There is only about 4 on our Nevada judges. She has a page on their website as well. And there's also a listing about her in, you know, how on the website there's a listing of all of the media articles about every judge. It's interesting how they do this. And there hasn't been much really about bad behavior of hers until just recently.
Yeah.
Hello, David. I got to the airport and forgot my passport. Well, isn't that clever of you? Isn't that clever? Well, you're going to have to stay here, aren't you, David? Were you on your way to visit me?
I think he's going to Denmark or something.
Oh, why?
Or, no, Sweden.
There. Sweden's a bit better.
Switzerland? I don't know.
Oh, really? Colorado, then DC, then Denmark. You're going to go see Branca in Colorado? Are you? Does she have a YouTube channel? Oh, that's a good
She
question.
doesn't. But I found somebody else that posted a lot of her clips or her hearings.
We're going to watch something of hers in a minute once we just finish this document. That's no good, David. You're going to have to go home. Hope you make your flight. Hope you make your flight. Yeah, if you're going to Colorado, say hi to Andrew for me. And who's in DC? Andrew?
Good luck in DC.
Yeah.
Don't storm the Capitol.
She does need a YouTube channel. What did you say, Bad Witness? No, I just read her bio, and she was 20-year Air Force veteran before practicing law.
That
That's
explains
what
why she's older and only serving or been in law for like 20 years.
That does make sense, yeah. So
Okay.
she had a career beforehand.
Okay.
20-year veterans control what comes out of their mouths. You would think this has to be an illness of some kind, though, although I don't know. Yeah, it does. It does seem strange, doesn't it? Badger witness. Thanks for that. Much appreciated.
Unless you're
Okay,
Judge
let's finish this off.
Glanville, the military is usually pretty disciplined.
Yeah. Okay. You knew you liked her, John. Look, there's some things about her that are quite likable. I have to say, if you watch her a bit, she speaks her mind. I like that about her. I like the fact that I love judges who can make a decision.
And like one time I saw a lawyer was really getting heated about something, and afterwards he apologized to her. Is like, I'm sorry, it's not personal. And she's like, oh, don't worry, I don't even know the number of times I've yelled at a judge or talking back to a judge.
Sarah's Worldwide fan. She was on drugs, then it wasn't intentional. Yeah. Look, Sarah, we're on your side here. We're on your side. So, and you're a member. Check you out. Good for you, Sarah. Thank you for being a member of our channel. So you should, because we're the only ones sticking up for you around here. All right. So what's the next one? Respondent and the commission hereby stipulate that the stipulation order does not include resolve or administer disciplines for any action. Blah, blah, blah. Boring. Acknowledges her behavior and actions in the case. Oh, you want to read this one? Number 9.
Respondent agrees and acknowledges that her behavior and actions in the case is referenced in the stipulation and order, as well as in other previous complaints filed against respondent, of which respondent has been notified and made aware by the commission, involving similar violations of the code as set forth in this stipulation and order. Evidence a concerning and ongoing pattern of judicial misconduct for which corrective actions must be taken.
Oh, Mads. Dear me. Sure, we'll change the channel to Simping for Sarah. Maybe we'll get more views. In fact, you know what? Tell everybody, Sarah's Prison Hooch. Tell everybody, Darlie, what website you bought.
Well, I did buy sarahboone.com.
Yeah, and we might be preparing it for October.
Something. Yeah, we need to get on that.
Yeah, we do. We need to hurry up.
Yeah, and
justice for Sarah. She's not simping.
Well, we also got what?
My graphic design. Yeah. Well, we still own AlecBaldwinTrial.com.
Yeah. Well, that kind of backfired.
Yeah. Well, that died in its ass, didn't it? After 3 days, that wasn't worth it. That's okay. We'll just shift the hosting over to Sarah Boone. That's fine. So it just ends up being a domain name that we own that's not worth anything. But
all right, I think I own taint.net.
You own taint.net, do you?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Taints.net, something like that.
Oh, sweet. Can you put my ad on the website? Yeah, sure. Yeah, why not? Sell the Baldwin one to practice. Sweet Sarah Sweepers. Indeed. Oh, look, I enjoy my Sarah sweeping streams. They're good fun. In fact, I'll have another one on Monday after her hearing. Okay. So she isn't up for re-election until 2027. If it's an illness, she'll be definitely having further issues. I'll have to keep an eye on it. Yeah. If I can ever go to the court or anything for y'all, I'd be happy to. Oh, that'd be awesome. Oh, yeah. That'd be so cool to have you in court to see her.
So, I mean, right now I think Sean's still going. So it's kind of a slow day here. But what do you guys think? Like, should we continue on with this? Would you enjoy?
The rest of this is kind of boring.
Yeah.
Do you want to just play that 2-minute video and give everyone a bit more of an idea of what kind of stuff we'd be showing?
Oh, it's like 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, whatever it is.
Okay.
Do you want to show some more of the hearing, and then guys can tell us what they want to see more of her?
Okay.
Right.
Okay, good morning. We're on the record in case number D08402438C, Stroh versus Lavin. May I please have appearances beginning with Mr. Miley?
Edward Miley, 6063 on behalf of Mr. Stroh, who I do not see on video.
Was he in the room? Okay, he's up. Is he up there on the top? No, that's Damien Sheets.
I don't know what Crystal Rose rolled.
That's someone else.
Oh, yeah.
It's another
No,
case.
he's not
Okay,
there.
we do not see him in the room, sir. Okay, do you know who it is that Mr. Marks referred this case to for reunification?
I have the letter, Your Honor. I believe what he said was that he's sending it back because he can't do it and he wants the court to find somebody. Trying to find the
Well,
letter.
I thought it said that he was referring it to somebody who he felt was good for high conflict cases. I am referring this family to a clinician who specializes in work, and I believe this would be okay. So he didn't name.
He didn't say who it was.
Okay,
Yeah,
he did not say who it was. All right, Ms. Backus, do you have an idea on who we can use?
Good morning, Your Honor. Shay Backus for the record. I do believe, because Thea got an email out of nowhere from Miss Wellborn, and she's already filled out the paperwork. We believe that's who it is. After the incident on May 5th, she also did contact numerous reunification therapists, and Ingrid Sanchez, who the court referred last time, did take Aetna, but we're fine. If Mr. Marks referred a Miss Wellborn, that paperwork's already started, and the sooner they can get in, I think that's better for everyone. And so hopefully that can happen.
Okay, all right, then let's go ahead and stick with Miss Wilburn.
Judge?
Yes, sir.
The other issue is my client has not had an overnight with his child in over a year.
Well, you know what? Your client did something a couple of years ago that's created this situation. I'm not going to punish the child because you're bad at it. No.
Judge, there's an order that says you've got to comply. At this point, I was trying to stop things because he's already done a couple of orders show cause contempt. I don't want to have to do it again.
Well,
Mom violates the last order by
Mr. Miley,
yes,
I'm talking. Hush up.
I can't hear you.
Well, stop talking and you'd hear me. Okay, I suspended any overnights a while back unless he wanted to do it, and unless the child wanted overnights. So there is no order to show cause. But, Mom, I told you to stay away from that therapist on that last day. You're to drop him off and then go away. And then when the child saw you again, he panicked.
No wonder.
So you are to stay away. You will take him, drop him off at these reunifications, and then Dad will bring him home. You are not to go back. Is that understood? Miss Backus, you're on silent.
I was just going to ask for clarification with the reunification therapy.
Correct.
We've kind of dove into the wonderful 4 pages that Ms. Wellborn provided. I anticipate the parties will all meet individually with her.
Correct.
I take it the court's fine with Mom providing transportation. Mom's willing to do whatever the therapist recommends. And I mean, the only thing is I know for some reason Caden has issues with transportation. Mom was not right out in front. Caden was going to call her to come pick him back up. She had a feeling that happened because he left. There's only been 5 therapy appointments with Mr. Marks, and one of those Caden had left midway through, which seemed like it was okay. And so that's why Mom stayed in the vicinity in case, one, he walked out, or he needed her to come back and pick it up because she wanted to make sure this reunification therapy was happening, just to get their relationship back on track.
Reunification therapy.
That's why I would ask if we could defer. So if there's something we don't want it to be over transportation that he's not seeing his dad. And so with that, that's why I would just ask if we could listen to whatever Ms. Wilborn, if we need if that's the issue, I'm assuming she'll get to the bottom of it, but if we could be a little flexible with that. So this is moving forward and Mom can control getting the kid to and from stuff.
And Judge, I didn't hear her client say any of that, but I will say that the letter provided by the doctor says that Mom was waiting in the parking lot meeting. So there was.
Okay, so if this woman has some sort of anxiety and she's taking diazepam or something like that, I understand. This has got to be the most soul-sucking job ever, working in family court. My God, how painful is this? Listening to this shit. what crap. Like, these grown adults absolutely just arguing and arguing and arguing and needing intermediaries to come between them to discuss just things that they should be able to discuss between themselves. It's very sad.
Yeah.
It really is sad. And I mean, it's easy for me to say because I've managed to sort my own shit out.
Yeah.
And it's difficult. I get it. But yeah, it's got to be.
Your
It's got to be
arrangement's pretty good,
painful.
but yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I know, and that's the thing, John. It's like you watch her, and she is no BS. There's things about her that are really quite likable.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, she's just stepped over the line in some instances. You'd rather do what? TOS law? If I was a lawyer, what's TOS?
Terms of service?
What does that mean?
Like terms of service you agree to, maybe?
Could you explain a little bit more, Benjamin? Thank you. All right, keep going.
All right. Oops. I was trying to Google it.
Whatever Jay just said, none of that's sworn testimony, but we do have a letter.
Yeah,
The doctor
I mean,
saying mom was waiting.
Yeah, I
So
have
mom's
that,
gotta stop
and I
and interfere.
distinctly remember saying, "Drop the kid off and leave," and kind of force the issue. I'm sure Dad's not drinking if he's with the reunification therapist.
Crickets.
No, I think since this is a new reunifier, I'll allow 2 visits only with mom being there to pick up. But after that, mom is not. After she drops the child off, she is not to be there after that. When the child calls, like, no, son, you have to go with your dad. He's not been drinking, because the therapist would have smelt it on you. Mom needs to start working on it. This here showed how Caden shut down when mom and dad were together because they do not get along.
No, that's bad.
Beginning to think that mom may be a little bit more of the problem, not purposefully, but her attitude shows through.
Than just drink. That's just one of the things that he does.
Does he have a DUI?
I wouldn't know.
Well, one of the things that I can do when we do start, and Mr. Miley, this is something you'll need to discuss with your client when the time comes. When we do start overnights and stuff like that, and I'm not going to hold it off much longer, but we can do sober link. That way, when the child is with him, then he can breathe into the breathalyzer and at set times and everything. Huh?
I'd have to talk to my client, but I'd have to talk to my client, but I don't have an objection with that.
Yeah. So, that way we're going to know if he's drinking or not.
Shouldn't the lawyer be wearing a tie?
We have ways of monitoring it. And so, this is something that I want Mr. Stroh to bring up with Donna Wilburn, that he's going to be willing to do that so his son feels comfortable spending the night with him. And that way Ms. Wilburn can start talking about it.
Witness. You're
and
right.
those things are very accurate. So if he's drinking, we will know. If he's not drinking, we're going to also know. Now, Mom, are you suspecting he's doing drugs or something?
He does.
What kind of drugs?
I don't know how much. Hallucinogenic, and I know that he also knows.
Marijuana is that's not illegal, but the order would be that he can't do it when the child is in his care. What else was he using? Because you phased out a little bit.
Hallucinogenics, and he's also taken pills before.
All right. Well, before we start this stuff, I will send him down for a drug test. Mr. Miley, you're not to tell him about that one.
Judge, how am I going to tell my client what happened at the hearing today? He's got to do a drug test if I can't tell him to do the drug test.
No. This is before overnight start.
I'm
not going to have him do it today. Now, Mr. Stroh's joined us, so we're going to pull him in real quick. But don't say anything about that.
I can't not tell my client something.
Okay. I'll let him know the bad news. Matter of fact, we'll do it today now since he's joining us.
Maybe good news, Your Honor.
That was weird.
Yeah. Mr. Stroh, how are you doing?
Yes.
Okay, you need to sign off with one of your devices. You're on 2 of them, so it's horrible backlash. So one of them needs to be turned off. Now speak again. No, we can't hear you at all. So the other one's the one that needs to be turned off.
Boomer.
Hold on, Mike.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
All right, that's much better.
Wait,
Okay.
he was just smoking his crack pipe.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, wait, I've just got to put out my crack pipe. Then I can turn off the other device. Now, what were you saying? Oh, I've got to go for a drug test.
Wait, was that
No
Sean
problem.
operating a stream? Just kidding. I'm just kidding, Sean.
He just has to go take a drug test today.
Yes.
Now that was really weird that she told his lawyer as like 2 seconds ago that he had to not tell his client that he had to go take a drug test. And then his lawyer said, how am I supposed to not tell my client something?
Well, I think she was saying like the time of the drug test, maybe.
Oh.
Because they do it she wants it like randomly, so they can't prepare for it.
Yeah, so he can't prepare for it. And
Yeah.
then he started to come into the thing and she's like, okay, well, we'll just do it today.
Yeah.
Done. Right. So good luck getting it out of your system by today.
Yeah.
Badger witness also. Yeah, I really wanted to find some lawyers who've been have practiced in front of her. She's been on the bench since 2021. Surely people would have been talking about it if it was her all the time, but I don't know. Oh, please. If you can find anybody who knows anything about this, that would be fantastic. Let's talk. DM me. Or yeah, you're a member. Are you on our Discord? You should be on our Discord, Badger Witness. Just click through the membership tab to the link to our Discord. It's under membership perks. And join us on there and chat with us all. That would be fantastic. Yes. The Las Vegas Sun and the Review Journal both endorsed her during her initial campaign in 2020. That would not have happened if she didn't have a good reputation. So I'm sure she did have a good reputation at that time.
Yeah.
I think it's probably all gone downhill since then. Yeah, I'm not yet. I was under another account, but I'll go over there. Yes, please join us. Join us. That would be fantastic. We have a fun time in there. Small community, tight knit. We're like a little family. We have a great time in there. We chat all the time. But yeah, join us.
We've been discussing you. We've approved Donna Wilburn for her to do this here. There has been a concern that was brought up because we do want to start working you into overnight visits after a couple of visits with Miss Wilburn. We're going to let Miss Wilburn kind of guide us on that one. But what we're going to do today is we're going to send you down for a drug test. You've got 3 hours to report down to the ATI over here by the courthouse. We're going to send your attorney a copy of the referral and then with the directions, and then he'll get that
Nothing.
to you. We want to knock that concern out. When overnight start, we're going to want a sober link. And what that is, it's a breathalyzer deal that you have that goes in, it's monitored. You're on a good schedule, and you'll only have to do it when the child is in your care. You will not have to do a breathalyzer any other point. Okay? Because we're doing everything we can to knock out any concerns.
Smiley, you there?
Hey, Vicky.
Are you saying no to all of this?
I'm not understanding what we're getting at here because there's been no. She has not followed the order one time, Your Honor.
I realize that.
Anthony, I mentioned it before you came on. He's frustrated because
I know he is.
He's being stymied. So.
Yes, I know he is. I'm frustrated about it too. I am really you'd be, talk to Mr. Miley. Mr. Miley knows how I am about custody and stuff like that. Ms. Backus knows how I am about custody. But we have to make sure that your son is comfortable because I am not going to drive this child into suicide because if there's a reason why he doesn't want to be around you. And for some reason right now, he's very anxious thinking about coming to you. We're going to get to the bottom of it. Okay, we need to find out why.
She's doing
We,
the right thing
we
here.
really need to find out why. So that's, Donna Wilburn is very good in high conflict cases.
Yeah, but
Anthony,
here's
is
the thing,
is that who the expert recommended was Wilburn?
Yeah, is Donna Wilburn the one that Mr. Marks referred you to?
Yes, he is, or she is.
Okay, all right, fantastic. Then let's come back. I want you to do the drug test. Let's come back and do we have anything in 6 weeks?
Right now.
Your Honor, this has been a year and 2-3 months now that I haven't seen my son. Overnight, period.
Mr. Stroh.
You yourself said that she's following the order that we're going to take some things and make sure they're done. You're not living up to what you're saying. I haven't done anything. I'm being treated like a criminal here.
Mr. Stroh, listen, please. I'm not the one who did something to yours. Mr. Stroh, hush up.
I pay taxes, Your Honor, and I'm a citizen of the United States here. I have a right to speak my mind.
Oh, dear.
But you're not following up to the law at all.
Mr. Stroh, I am not going to put your son in harm's way. If this is the attitude that you're exhibiting to your son, then I can understand. Don't back talk me while I'm talking.
Oh.
Okay, Mr. Miley, I'm going to have Miss Backus prepare the order. We're done today. We'll come back in 6 weeks. What's the date?
Good for you.
What's the date?
Good for you. You have no backbone. You don't do anything that you ever say you're going to do, Your Honor.
Silence him.
Live up to the law.
Mr. Miley, you need to speak to your client.
Yes, Your Honor.
The closest we can do is going to be August 26th at 9.
The soonest we can come back is August 26th at 9. Do we have anything where we can put him in and somewhere in 6 weeks? I mean, that's way out, even if I'm overbooking me. That's what I was just looking at, is July 20th.
Oh, 10 or 11.
Let's do 10.
Okay. We'll stop there. So I think you guys get the idea. Do you want to see more of her? If we can find some more video of this lady. I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted as to whether or not I like her or whether she's just a psycho, as in, are you a psycho? But I find her interesting. Definitely. Half Irish, yes?
Yeah.
Now you want a hush up emoji? We could do that. Yeah, like there's so many things that she's doing that I really respect her for. Like, she's right to keep one of the parents away or keep even one of the therapists away if the kid is scared. Absolutely. And if we're talking about what she calls a high conflict situation, she's putting the kids first. And that's 100% her job. That is 100% her job. So, and I get it that she gets frustrated. She needs to keep that under control, though. And that's what the censure's about. What's this? Is that guy representing himself, or is his counsel just not controlling?
I think that was his lawyer.
Yeah, his lawyer was there. Remember when the lawyer was saying, "Oh, how can I not tell my client something?" And that was about the drug test. And then he came in. The other guy came in, the one with the orange shirt. That was the dad. So, yeah, I know he didn't look like a lawyer because, like, he was just like in a t-shirt. The guy in the top left-hand corner. But yeah, he just wasn't being a very good lawyer. He wasn't representing him very well because his client was just yelling at the judge. I mean, I can't really blame her for being mad at the disrespect. No, exactly. And that would happen a lot, wouldn't it? Like, you're seeing a lot of people just acting out in her courtroom. And it is her courtroom. It may be a Zoom hearing, but it's still her courtroom. And they're just yelling at her. And what do you really expect? What do you really expect? I'm tired of the yelling family court's tough content. It is tough content. I'm not going to be doing it every day. Don't you worry, Benjamin. There's actually not enough content out there anyway. There's only sort of maybe 4 or 5 videos that I can see. We've looked a little bit, Dahlia and I, in the last few days. There's not much out there unless we can find more. Badger Witness, maybe you can help us. being in the area. She is, the only thing I see wrong here is opining on the situations rather than just stating her decisions. Yeah. Which I can imagine is hard to do, but you have to. Yeah. Hey, Moonbell. Thanks for being here, my fellow Aussie. Too bad the lawyer can't remotely mute the client. You would, yeah, that would be great. That's probably something that's wrong with the Zoom situation. As a lawyer, you would want to be able to mute your client. You'd be like, mute. There are far too many cases of child isolation abuse. Abuse is being brought into family court based on only one side's representation of the facts. Oh, yeah, I would definitely think that's the case. I find this whole family court situation really difficult to watch, but interesting. Interesting. Is what she's not crazy, she's with it. Go on panel and tell us. We'd love to have you on panel sometime, John. And awesome. And okay, so what we're going to do, we're actually going to raid someone different now. We're going to raid the alternate corner. Dylan is on. I'm not sure. What's he covering? Wisconsin versus Kevin Samer.
Is he still doing that?
Yeah, he is.
He was live earlier. I popped in his chat.
Yeah. Love Dylan. Dylan's great. He did a really good job of covering the Karen Reid trial. And he's been streaming a bit longer than us, probably about 4 or 5 months longer than us.
Yeah.
And he's just a great guy. He's in Great Britain, in Wales. Anyway, let's go and say hi to Dylan. Why not? He has a bit of a small crowd going right now, so let's go join him. Say hi. Everyone say hello, Raid, when we get over there. But before that, let's listen to my favorite song.
Her name was Helen. She was an Aussie. She was a fake lawyer from the future. She got on YouTube and made some live streams. The clothes are and she dances sometimes. The words are always so loud and because